Hi y'all. I wanted to talk about today why I started making YouTube videos. Maybe I haven't seen them because I haven't pulled them up. But in all the different YouTube channels and things, you know, people look pretty normal. When I say normal, what I mean is, you know, they're pretty happy, and that's what it should be, because you don't want to make a video when you're, you know, feeling crappy, I guess. But one of the reasons why I started this one is because I was married 31 years. I have been single now for 6 years, a little over 6 years, and not that I don't want to date, not that I haven't, you know, gone online and tried to date, but it just hasn't happened. And I never was a dater before. I mean, I really didn't date before I, you know, met my husband, and then we got married. We were engaged at 21 and married at 22, but and then divorced at 52. Yeah, I guess that would be right. So anyway, but one of the things I wanted to talk about was depression. Depression's really a big thing in a lot of people's lives, and most people don't know that I'm depressed because unless I tell them. And I don't mind telling people, you know, I have no problem with it. If they want to see what depression looks like, they can look at me. But the thing is I'm on the correct medication. People can be depressed and not on medication, and you can really tell that they're depressed and their life is, it's just not a happy life. I have moments that are, you know, down and depressed, just like everybody else in the whole world. Even the ones that aren't, you know, aren't depressed. But I'm on the correct medicine. And I just want to encourage anybody who thinks they possibly could be depressed, or maybe their mind is wandering as far as what's wrong with me, maybe this is, and I also have anxiety. If I don't take my medication, I might as well just, you know, for 2 or 3 or 4 days, I mean, if I run out of it, I might as well crawl in bed and just pull the covers up over my head. I mean, what I have is chemical. It's like a diabetic. It's like somebody who has glaucoma. It's like, you know, anybody else that has a lifelong illness, that's what I have. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Oh, just pull yourself out, snap out of it. But obviously, they've never had depression if that's the way they feel about it. Also, they've never had anxiety if that's the way they feel. Because it's really, you feel like kind of like you're dying. When you're in the middle of anxiety, or in the middle of a really bad depression period. But I just want to encourage everybody to take care of it. If they think they are, if you even think you are, even the remotest, you know, let me just check it out. You need to go see somebody. Go see somebody that knows what they're talking about. You know, general practitioners and internists are great, but they're not psychiatrists. If I have a toothache, I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm not going to go to my general practitioner or internist. If I have a broken leg, I'm not going to go to my internist or general practitioner. I'm going to go to an orthopedist. So I'm going to go to a dentist or an orthopedist. Why wouldn't I go to a psychiatrist? So I think it's just really, really important for people to understand that psychiatrists are MDs. They went through all the different things that the general practitioners and the internists did. They just picked their specialty as being a psychiatrist. And the other thing that I want people to understand is that not every psychiatrist is a good psychiatrist. Not every dentist is a good dentist. And I mean, you can go on and on with every single MD that you can ever think about. And you can go on, you know, not every mechanic is a good mechanic, you know, on and on and on. So if you don't feel like you're getting what you need from the doctor that you're with, you need to change doctors. I mean, I know, you know, who cares if their feelings are hurt? You know, if they care, if their feelings are hurt because you decided that your personality does not go with his, or you feel like he's not giving you the medicine you need, or he's giving you too much medicine, you need to move on to a new doctor. Get a second opinion, get a third opinion, get a fourth opinion, whatever is right for you. You're the only one who can take care of you. You're the only one who can make the decision. The only way that you don't make a decision if you are a person who is a potential harm to someone else or yourself. At that point, you go through the court, and that's a whole different subject. But I just think it's really important for people to get help. I think it's important for people to get the help that they need, and the right help. If you don't have a choice, you know, then that you just have to be very blunt with your doctor and tell him how you're feeling or not feeling. Or one of the things that I tell my doctor when I go in, if I feel like, you know, when I go in for my medication adjustments, is I tell him, you know, if I feel fine, I tell him I'm fine, and we talk. But if I don't feel fine, my key word that I use is I can't find my joy. Everybody else has their own way of telling their doctor, you know, how they feel or not feel, but that's mine. And my doctor knows that if I say that, you know, we need to sit there and talk. Also, most psychiatrists are not therapists. Most psychiatrists are simply there to give you your medicine. Yes, they will talk to you. Yes, they will take 15, 20 minutes. They will talk to you. They will visit with you. You tell them what's going on. Tell them how you're feeling, what's going on in your life. But you're not going to analyze it. You need to go to a therapist, a psychologist, or LPC, or a clinical social worker, or, you know, my preference is a PhD, you know, in psychology. So whatever works for you, whatever goes with your budget, whatever goes with what you're working with, even if you just have to talk to your minister or somebody in a social setting that is knowledgeable of just listening, not giving you answers. I think it's very important to get the help. And also, if those people don't match up with your personality, if you don't like them, if they aren't giving you what you need as far as emotionally, you change. You could find another one. I mean, everybody remembers a teacher that they grew up with in school that they didn't get along with. I had one in the 7th grade. I mean, you know, everybody had one. And so there's going to be people in the world that we just don't, our personalities just don't go with. So find a new one. I really can't stress this enough, and this is really an important subject for me because with what I do for a living, I see a lot of people who think that I'm just quote, quote, normal, and I don't know what normal is. But then when I tell them what's going on with me and that I am depressed, I do have anxiety, and I'm on this medication, they're just dumbfounded because, you know, I'm so normal. And yes, I'm normal because I'm on my medication. If I wasn't on my medication, they wouldn't even be seeing me because I wouldn't even be out of my house. So, and when I am out of my house, if I'm depressed and if I'm feeling bad, I'm not somebody I want to be around. I can't even imagine why someone would want to be around me if I'm being depressed. So I'm on my medication. I stay on my medication. I don't care if I'm feeling great, if I could jump over the moon. I know that if I stop taking my medicine, it's going to come back. It's the same way with people who are bipolar, people who are schizophrenic. If you've been diagnosed with any of this, the only thing and the only advice I can give you is don't get off your medicine unless your doctor tells you to do that. That is the only time you get off of it. Because you feel so good. You're just like, oh, I've got the world by the tail. I can do this on my own. I can do it. I got a handle. Stop taking the medicine, it's going to come back, and your life is going to be, you know, pulled upside down again. And so, take your medicine. Somebody who's a diabetic does not take their medicine just because they're feeling better. They go into a coma. You know, if we could do that with depression, and people would see that we're in a coma, oh, she didn't take her medicine, you know, that might be a good thing, but that's not what happens. What happens is we just go curl up in a corner, or we do other things that we wish we hadn't done simply because we're depressed. And I know I'm going on and on and on about this, but it's really an important thing in my life to get the word out that that it's real. It's real. Just like I have red hair, 2 arms and 2 legs, 2 feet, 2 hands, depression is real. So I'm going to get off my soapbox and get on to my office to see my client, and I will see y'all next time, and I love you, Jennifer.